Hi, this is Lisa Bates, and I am filming the intro to my last video for observation. It's actually my leading video. And for this video, what I did for my field experience is I set up an appointment to meet with the principal first, who's my administrator, and we talked about some issues that one of the teams was having, specifically with student achievement. And so she wanted me to lead a meeting on data for that team and discuss specific areas of data within particular units where this group of students was not performing well for 2 consecutive grades, as it's a critical area, it happens to be a group of 7th graders. As this group of 7th graders then moves to 8th grade, it's a critical area on the state assessment test. And so she wanted me to address the data and specifically look at their group of students. This particular school had dropped significantly last year, and so we're trying to be proactive at this point for setting up this group for next year's assessment and try and do some reteach, some reassessment, and really look at where the students are at. And so she wanted me to do the meeting during their professional development period, which is an hour. It's roughly 52 minutes on a morning. So we scheduled a morning meeting. Their PD period happens to be first period in the morning, and so we scheduled it roughly about a week out so that I could gather the data that I intended to use with the teachers, since I was having to go back and actually look at data for this group of students, not only the current year but the previous year as well. And so for preparation materials, what I needed was just the assessment data for this particular area, which happens to be chemistry, and I pulled the data for the teachers for their individual students, and then I also pulled collectively for the campus by the standard so that we could look specifically where the students themselves were struggling as a group and as individuals. And the only other materials that the teachers needed, since I provided the data for them, is we needed computer access so that we could go and actually look at our units of study for both when they were in 6th grade and when they were in 7th grade, and then also look at 8th grade to see where we could support looking at the data and then looking at where we could go back and do some reteach in these areas of need. The way that I was going to judge the success of the meeting was not only did we follow the agenda, which we did, and each person was provided an agenda prior to the meeting, but then also we're judging success by the ability of the teachers to look at the data and reason with the data, and then also where the students were at then once we reassess them. And we chose to reassess them individually on the standards themselves and not collectively as a whole summative test, and so that we could see where we were at specifically with each of the areas of concern. So that's the intro to my video, and my video will follow next.